ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਸ਼ੌਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਂ, ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਐਕਸਟਰਾਆਰਡੀਨਰੀ।
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ। ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ।
ਅਕਾਲ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਦ ਲੇਟ ਸ਼ੋ। ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਲਾਈਵ ਫਰਮ ਲੰਡਨ। ਯੂ نو ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਸ਼ੌਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਂ, ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਐਕਸਟਰਾਆਰਡੀਨਰੀ। ਉਹ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਕ ਅ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਵਿਚ ਇਜ਼ ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਮੂਮੈਂਟ, not only for the family or the friends, for the community as well. ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ for the London expansion, Heathrow ਦੀ expansion ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, not London, Heathrow expansion. I've got a very right man who has worked so hard for over 10 years. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਲਿਸਟ ਹੈਗੀ what is done in life, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੀ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ। So I'm going to go slowly. ਐਂਡ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਚਾਂਸਲਰ ਰੇਚਲ ਰੀਵ ਨੇ ਅਪਰੂਵਲ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਗੋ ਹੈਡ, ਐਂਡ ਦੇਅਰਸ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਨ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਪੀਪਲ। ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਇਟਸ 100% ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਹੈਪਨ, ਸਮ ਪੀਪਲ ਸੇ ਨੋ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਓਨਲੀ ਗਿਵਨ ਅ ਗੋ ਹੈਡ, ਬਟ ਦੇਅਰਸ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਓਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਜੋ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਜੋ ਗੈਸਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਵਿਲ ਗਿਵ ਅਸ ਐਨ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਕਿ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਡੂ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਗੌਸਿਪ, ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੈਕਟ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ। You know, please, ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਖੁਦ ਦੀ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਕਰਦਾ। ਔਨ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਟਿਵ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨੋਟ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਡੂਇੰਗ ਇਟ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਵਾਚ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਇਟਸ ਫॉर ਯੂਰ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ। ਦਿਸ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਪੀਪਲ ਲਿਵ ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਏਰੀਆ ਇਜ਼ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਯੂਰ ਲਾਈਫ ਇਨ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਵੇਜ਼, ਬੈਟਰ ਵੇ ਔਰ ਦ ਬੈਡ ਵੇ, ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੋ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣਾਂਗੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ। ਇਹਦੇ ਐਕਸਪੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ over 10 years he have been fighting to the Heathrow expansion ਦਾ। Mr. Parmjit Dhanda, Executive Director, back Heathrow, and is a British Labour Party politician who was a member of the Parliament for Gloucester from 2001 to 2010. You know, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ I was just talking to Parmjit ਕਿ we didn't have a media, so we hardly know ਕਿ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ। Thank you for the Akaal Channel giving us a platform. We are bringing you the elite ਜੋ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। UK ਦਾ first government minister of Sikh origin with the Indian heritage, ਦੇ ਨਾਲ Indian parents ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ। Such a proud moment. ਦੇਖੋ, no, I doubt a lot of people know about him just because of the never media. ਅੱਜ as platform ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ the worldwide people will know who this man is, and he's a Sikh from Indian parents ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ, ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। he was used to live local in Hayes, we call him Hayes boys, and he's ended up in a high class office ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਚਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸਾਂ। he's a non-executive director with vast experience working with board to deliver for NHS, author of my political race and many more. ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਰੇਸ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਆਥਰ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅੱਜ ਜਦ ਐਕਸਪੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੇ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦਾ। ਕੰਗ੍ਰੈਚੁਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ, ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਇਟ ਵਾਸ ਅ ਵਰਥਵਾਈਲ ਯੂਰ ਫਾਈਟ ਫॉर ਲਾਸਟ 10 years.
Well, firstly, Sri Akaal, thank you for that introduction. 2-3 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ।
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਬੜੀ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੈ। You know,
but yeah, it's actually been 8 years at back Heathrow now. Actually, 8 years there. You're right. No sala da ma MP Sikh Gloucester da back 2001 to 2010. ਜਦੋਂ Tony Blair ਤੇ Gordon Brown Prime Minister ਸੀਗੇ, and I'm lucky enough to have been in the government in 3 departments.
But you know, you've done so much in life. I'm sorry to say because ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਪੂਲੈਰਿਟੀ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ, ਕ੍ਰੈਡੀਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੀ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਈ ਬਲੇਮ ਦ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਫॉर दैट ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਯੂ ਨੈਵਰ ਮੀਡੀਆ। ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਤੇ ਆ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ। when I tell people this guest is coming, everyone knows you now because you've been here a few times. The television media is such a strong to get the message across, it's unbelievable.
And you're right, it's a privilege to be back here on your show. A lot of people I know watch it. Mum, I know you're watching right now, sat there in Hayes, so there we are. So it's
Proud mom.
absolutely, yeah.
They definitely. But you heard me say that it's not a proud moment for you or the friends or the family. It's for the community as well.
It is. And मेरी गल सुन एक मिनट ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ the things that we've done ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ without the support and the backing of organizations like this one. What Akaal TV does to get this kind of news and this kind of information out, काफी important here. The issues that we're going to talk about today, how it affects people's lives, it gives us a great platform. And you're right, it doesn't platform haini sigi back in those days, but we have it now and we should be very proud of how precious that is.
But you see, look, bada kaam karte rahe for whatever reason, but you have made a history. 2 years to come, ਜਦੋਂ history pension ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਨਾ, being a Sikh guy, ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, he was the one behind this.
Paul ji, ਮੇਰੇ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਓ.
I hope they're watching the program, you know.
You're very kind. You're very kind. But yeah, but I'm a lucky man. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ projects in my life ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਆ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੀਥਰੋ ਦੀ expansion, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ infrastructure project
It is one of the
biggest in Europe in terms of 15 billion pounds. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਇਨਫਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ. But it's a huge project and it can create over 100,000 jobs, over 10,000 apprenticeships, and ਸਾਡੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਲਈ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਇੱਥੇ locally. West London, Hounslow, Ealing, Hayes, Slough, ਸਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੇ community ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ. They built the airport. Now ਸਾਡੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ opportunity ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੇਟਿਆਂ ਲਈ, their sons, their daughters to have even better jobs. Because ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ back in the 1960s, ਮੇਰਾ grandfather ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ. He used to clean. At the end of the day, ਗੋਰੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਕੇਕ ਸ਼ੌਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ. ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੇਕ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ. At the end of the day, she said, ਤੇਰੇ grandchildren ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ, take it home to them. We were in a little house in Beresford Road in Southall then. When Halevi, he'd come home from work with jam donuts and Chelsea buns. I have to say to him, if he's watching up there now, Papa, we didn't like the Chelsea buns, but the jam donuts were good. But that was their story. They came here, job hai nahi siga as time de vich, but Heathrow de vich job hage siga. Now they hon otte 90,000 job hage on the site. Biggest employer, biggest one-site employer in the country. So ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ opportunity ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ to build more, to create more opportunities, and that's what I want to see.
ਬੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ extension ਕਰਨੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ the back ਤੇ ਨਾ, it's a major project for doing an extension to home. Heathrow the expansion, Europe the biggest extension ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
It's unbelievable. They ਉਹਦਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ villages, well, put it rightly, bluntly, destroy ਕਰਨੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ, demolish ਕਰਨੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ to bring the site up there, the runway. ਚਲੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਾ, I've got a lot of questions, but the time ਬੜੀ fast ਜਾਂਦਾ. Give me an update. ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਕੇ ਹਟਿਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਆਪਣੀ chancellor ਨੇ go ahead ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ. People think it's definitely go ahead, or give me
ਹਾਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੇਤਾ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ. Since the Second World War, ਇੱਕ runway ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ full length runway ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੀ ਆ south east of England ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ project, it's been delayed. Tony Blair tried to do it in 2002, or Parliament ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ vote ਸੀਗੀ. It went through on the vote, but ਉਹ ਹਾਰ ਗਏ 2009, 2010. ਫਿਰ David Cameron ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ. ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਦਾ slogan ਸੀਗਾ, what did he say now? He said, no ifs, no buts, no third runway. ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ, ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਕੋਨਮੀ ਗਰੋ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਜੇ ਜੋਬ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਰਨਵੇ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ. ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ in the whole world, it's the busiest 2-runway airport. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਈਵਲ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਪੈਰਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇੱਕ ਫਰੈਂਕਫਰਟ, ਇੱਕ ਐਮਸਟਰਡਮ, ਪਰ ਉੱਥੇ 3, 4, 5 ਰਨਵੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ. ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ 2 ਹੀ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ. So after 2010, ਉੱਥੇ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰੇ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਸਾਰੇ ਫੁੱਲ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰੱਖੀਏ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਕਪੈਸਿਟੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਰਨਵੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਆ. ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਉਦੋਂ. ਗੈਟਵਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ, ਹੀਥਰੋ 'ਚ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ, ਬੋਰਿਸ ਜੌਨਸਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਟੈਮਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ ਕਿਤੇ। ਸੋ ਦੇ ਲੁਕਡ ਐਟ ਇਟ, ਐਨਾਲਾਈਜ਼ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਸੀਗੀ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਆ, ਜੋਬਸ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਨਾਲੇ ਇਕੋਨਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਬੂਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਬ ਏਅਰਪੋਰਟ, ਹਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲਿੰਕਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਹੀਥਰੋ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਾਰਗੋ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ। More than half of our trade, our cargo, by the value, goes through Heathrow Airport. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ truly boost ਕਰਨੀ economy, ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਣੀ।
I'm going to go very technical point ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾਵਾਂਗਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ। Like you said, this is the busiest airport in Europe.
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
Approximately, roughly.
Busiest in the world, busiest two-runway airport in the world.
ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ figures ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, but 1,300 flights land and take off basically every minute ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, with 2 runways. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੀਸਰਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ at the moment ਜਦੋਂ the slot ਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਜਦੋਂ aircraft ਨੂੰ approach ਕਰਦਾ for the landing, they have to be there at that time because otherwise ਉਹ miss ਕਰ ਦੇਵੇ ਕਿਸੇ for whatever reason he got to go back in the queue again.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤੀਜੇ ਰਨ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ?
ਤੀਜੇ ਰਨਵੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਫਿਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਟੈਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਹੌਲੀਡੇ ਤੋਂ, you're up there round and round and round above London, ਹੈ ਨਾ? ਨਾਲੇ but that's bad for the environment as well.
Exactly.
All of the fumes, the air quality is because the airport is full, jagah hai nahi. So with the third runway, you can do more. You can have more destinations, you can have more passengers, you can have more trade, more cargo as well. And that's what creates the extra money for the economy. Not on the ground, ਸਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਲਈ ਜੋਬ ਵੀ ਬਣਦੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ।
ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ, I'm coming to the point. I will not give you an idea ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਫੇਵਰ ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ against ਹੈਗਾ. I'm going to ask you questions ਜੋ ਮੇਰੇ mind ਚ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ the people knew ਕਿ you will be coming on the show and fed me some questions like whatever, though the chancellor has given a go ahead, you got some lot of opposition. Your own party, the London mayor Sadiq Khan is opposing this for whatever reason, and some of the councils are still opposing to this. Some high flying offices, they're individual lage ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ oppose ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। How far are you thinking ਕਿ ਕਦੋਂ ਅਗਰ ਲਿਫਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਕਦੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋਏਗਾ?
ਹਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਹਾਲੇ early stage ਹੈ। You're right. Rachel Reeves ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਵੀਂ runway ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ।
ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ।
ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਹੀਥਰੋ ਨੂੰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਹੁਣ ਬਣਾ ਲਓ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ। ਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਪੈਣਾ। You can't just do it, you have to go through the process. So next step ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਹੋਣਾ for Heathrow Airport, on application ਦੇਣੀ ਆ ਸਮਰ ਦੇ ਤੱਕ, ਸੋ ਬਾਈ ਜੂਨ ਜੁਲਾਈ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇਖੂਗੇ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਜੱਜ ਕਰੂਗੇ, ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਕੰਸਲਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ। ਨਾਲੇ ਕੰਸਲਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਇਨਕੁਆਇਰੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ। ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਇਨਕੁਆਇਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਕੰਸਲਟੇਸ਼ਨ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ ਹਾਊ ਇਜ਼ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਮੀ, what's this going to mean for the different airspace, where's the flights going to be coming, the noise, the air quality, the carbon, how are you going to fix it? So big consultation ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, inquiry ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ government, the minister decide ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਜੇ permission ਦੇਣੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਦ ਹੈ government ਦਊਂਗੀ, but problem ਇਹ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੈਗੀ at the moment ਖਰਾਬ ਆ। Any protester can put in what they call a judicial review, go to court, go to court, go to court, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ as country ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ planning for the big things doesn't happen. ਬਹੁਤ ਚਿਰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ। as country ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ legal system speed up change ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ government ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਆ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, and that will sweep up and stop these random complaints and court cases, and will make it easier to build not just new runway but ਕੋਈ nuclear power station we बनाने हैं, road बनाने हैं, all of the big projects will be speeded up.
But then terminals will have to be expanded as well.
Terminals, new terminals as well as part
What's
of the
happening to
project.
T1 then?
Well, they will look at all of the terminals with a new planning application and make the necessary changes, and there will be different setup with all of the terminals.
I remember काफी गल्ला clear करें because a lot of people meet here and there and they talk like gossip on there. And बहुत दफा के लोगों को fact नहीं पता था. Hope we're going to get some facts from अपने Parmjit को. I see the benefit ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਇੰਨੇ jobs create होंगे, ਇੰਨੇ business होंगे. जो ਤੁਸੀਂ steel ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, British steel ਦੀ, how much are you talking weight wise?
400,000 tons.
400,000 tons of steel.
Yeah. As country बनाना है.
As well.
साडा British steel.
So I can see a lot of jobs in different sectors ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ steel ਦਾ. Then there are the construction ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. So there's a lot of people involved in that.
Holidays, hotels, restaurant, shop only. Yeah.
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਜੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ to have ਤੁਸੀਂ the most areas ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ affect ਕਰਦਾ Hedgeworth, Simpson and Longford ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ Longford ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ there are 7 listed buildings. The government would not allow you to touch those at all. ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ consider ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ demolish ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ. You have to demolish right word ਹੈਗਾ at 3 ਜਗ੍ਹਾ to accommodate your expansion.
ਜਿਹੜੀ listed sites are, they are protected. So you have to work around these things. But in this country, we have to be very, very careful and preserve the rules.
As much as you can.
Yeah. It's not like China, the bitch, in the next 13 years, they're going to build 130 new airports. But they just knocks everything down. ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ. But ਜਿਹੜੇ village on the bitch, you mentioned ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ, very, very close to the airport. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ compensation ਚੰਗੀ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ. ਨਾਲੇ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ. ਨਾਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ organization back into the bitch, 100,000 supporters are.
You're talking big money there as well, compensation?
There will be good compensation scheme. HS2, good example as well. You didn't get big protests about after a while when they got the compensation. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ compensation ਹੋਣੇ ਸੀ. Compensation ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ. Now if ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ the ones that aren't being knocked down, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਵੀਂ noise insulation ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਹਿਣੇ ਆ, if they're affected by the new runway, the new noise, ਫਿਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ insulation scheme ਵੀ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਆ. ਨਾਲੇ airport ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇਣੇ ਪੈਣੇ ਆ for that as well. That's all part of the scheme. So noise is an issue, but has to be sorted out. Compensation mainly for those 700 odd houses, about 700 houses. But ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ supporter ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, because ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ 20 ਸਾਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਨਾਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ blighted ਹੋ ਗਿਆ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say
ਸਾਨੂੰ
that.
clarity ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ certainty ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ, ਹਨਾ. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ it's only fair to give them the decision. Instead of one court case, another court case, slowing it down with another protest. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ certainty ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ government ਜੋ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਠੀਕ ਆ. It's the right thing to do because we have to make decisions. You go back 100 years, ਉੱਥੇ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਸੀਗੀ. ਹੁਣ ਵੱਡੀ airport ਹੈ ਪਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਹਨਾ. There's nothing there, mud and grass. This is progress. Things move on. But the law has changed over years. The people have become good at protesting and stopping things. Takake, we've been stuck with an airport that can do so much more, but is full.
But you know, just thinking long term again, Jidamatul area, the naam dase, some people who arrived in this country, some are born here, 50, 60, 70 years old, semi-detached, detached house, whatever, terrace house with a garden. They're very much used to that kind of lifestyle. They will hate to go into the skyscrapers, flats at the beach. How are you going to accommodate? A lot of people don't want to move from there.
Anji, and most people won't have to move, actually. The communities around, even in places like Harlington, where they will have the choice, whether they want to move and take a compensation, but many people want to stay. One of my good friends, Shafiq, from the Cranford Action Group, and Lage Renda, airport Lage Renda, I love it here. Jahaja nu dekha rehna, you've got a lovely view.
You got used to it now.
No, he uses it. He said, because I live close to it, I don't even notice it's there. I remember ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਵੀਕ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ traffic lights ਦੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਘਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ in the middle of the night music on car horns all the rest of it I thought I'll never be able to sleep here it's awful after 2 nights I didn't notice it anymore so for some people not everybody but for many people they just tune out and for a lot of people that came here mostly people from our community from India ਜਿੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਊਥ ਔਲ ਹੇਜ਼ ਹਾਊਂਸਲੋ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਯੂਜ਼ ਟੂ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਉਹ ਲਾਗੇ ਛਾਗੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਪਰ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ for them noise sometimes isn't as bad they don't notice it but for other people who notice noise it affects them badly so it's good to have a good noise insulation scheme to give that to as many people that are affected as possible that's very important air quality ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ important ਹੈ but ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਹਾਜ਼ ਹੁਣ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ they're not like the ones from the old days ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀਗੇ in our house on Beresford Road in Southall in the 1970s ਜਿੱਥੇ window ਇੱਦਾਂ would move back in those days ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਰੌਲਾ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ now they're much cleaner they're much quieter the technology has moved on ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ fuel airplane ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ change ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁਣ on new industry we bani they call it sustainable aviation fuel they make the oil out of recycled things including cooking oil waste products idan di cheezaਂ it's far less emitting it's far better for the atmosphere less carbon so we have to do all of these things air quality noise and decarbonisation all of these things have to be part of this project to make it better
We mentioned about expansion, one of the major ones in your world which was that, and compensation to local like lots of these 4-5 places that affect kar rahe hain, jithe ke runway plan kiti ja rahi hai. Who is paying for all this?
Combination hai. Kai vari government pay dinde hai. China the ਵਿੱਚ government pay ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. I think Middle East the ਵਿੱਚ other government ਉਹਦੇ pay ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. In other places private sector pay ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇੱਥੇ पूरी private passe the project airport the number one ਉੱਥੇ ਆ Saudi body company they call it sovereign wealth fund
I was going to say from Middle East
Saudi and French as well the French company RDN very big sovereign wealth fund so our country really changa hai because ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੀ debt nationally £3 trillion I don't even know how to say that in Punjabi £3 trillion that's the debt so Chancellor ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ private sector ਪੈਸੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ now our private sector project here it will create growth that growth comes back to the government can spend it on things like ਸਾਡੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ hospital ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ better for public services through economic growth funded through the private sector.
What's, are you involved with the Gatwick? Are they going to get the second runway there as well?
I'm not involved with Gatwick, but I think I suspect that they will get it, yes, because the Chancellor is now saying, what does she say? She says growth trumps everything. They're very keen on private sector growth. So ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ there's a good chance ਉੱਥੇ Gatwick ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ spare runway ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ which is used as an emergency runway and ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ if we move it a little bit we can just rebuild that runway and make it ਉੱਥੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ and they think they can do that quite quickly.
You're going to make a tunnel for the M25 ਵਗੈਰਾ whole major expense ਹੈ ਹਰ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦਾ 3 places that I mentioned, those villages will have to be kind of demolished. And there was a suggestion, why don't you expand Gatwick?
Yeah, I think the government wants to do both. Or can they expand karna and Heathrow भी expand karna. पर पूरी decision बनाई नहीं Gatwick दी. Heathrow she's been very clear. We want Heathrow to be the #1 airport in Europe. Gatwick, Changaya, for if you want to go on your holidays, nice for your holidays in Spain and things like that. But Heathrow, global airport here, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ, ਸਾਊਥ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣੋ, ਸਾਡੇ ਮੇਜਰ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਡੈਸਟੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ 90,000 ਜੌਬਸ ਆ on the site. It's much bigger than any other airport in the country, one of the biggest in the world. And ਜਿਹੜੀ supply chain local borough ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ is even bigger, probably about 150,000 more jobs there as well.
ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਦੀ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਲੰਡਨ ਮੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਸਮ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਦਾ ਪੀਪਲ ਅਪੋਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਦਿਸ ਐਜ਼ ਵੈਲ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਖੁਦ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੀ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਹਾਊ ਡੂ ਯੂ ਫੀਲ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦੈਟ
ਵੈਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਇਨ ਫੇਵਰ ਹੈ ਚਾਂਸਲਰ ਇਨ ਫੇਵਰ ਹੈ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਇਨ ਫੇਵਰ ਹੈ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਯੂਨੀਅਨ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਵੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਬਥੇਰੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਵੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਐਮਪੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਰੈਗੂਲਰਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ
ਸੋ ਵਾਟ ਵਿਲ ਡੂ ਸੌਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵਿਲ ਹੈਵ ਅ ਕੁਇਕ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਵਿਲ ਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਅਗੇਨ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਟੇ ਟਿਊਨਡ ਇਨ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਜੀ
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ
Welcome back to the second part. ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ enjoy ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਗੇ ਬੜਾ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਟਿਵ ਹੈਗਾ because you see ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਹੈਗਾ especially people living around this area one way or the other ਚਲੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਤਾਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਰਿਟਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ but there are a lot of ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਬੜਾ ਕਾਊਂਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਰਮਜੀਤ ਡਾਂਦਾ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਜੌਬਸ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਰੇਗਾ there is a good point there is a bad point this is up to you to decide ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੋਣਾ Heathrow is one of the busiest airport in Europe ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ every minute flight land take off from there and it's the fourth biggest in the world ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ passenger wise you know not by the size but passenger wise ਬੰਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਕਿ obviously it's going to take few years before any ਹੁਣ Labour Party ਹੈਗੀ what happens if the party changes over will that go back to scrap again?
That's a stronger question, yeah. It's anything can happen. This is the problem.
ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ opposition ਕੌਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ they have to oppose against you
ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ opposition ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵਸ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਿਊ ਰਨਵੇ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ ਲੇਬਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ very strongly can within the next 4 years they want to have the planning application done and they by 2034 they want aeroplanes leaving the third runway so you know that's very ambitious now the duje party reform all we can there so at the moment manu chittiya mail them and email mail there sorry all three of them saying how can we help ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ you know how can we support this so politically there is unity but to see it's fair because within every party there is opposition as well there are always some people now ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ Wednesday ਮੈਂ ਜੂ ਸੀਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ Brentford Isleworth ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ MP Ruth Cadbury ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ she's big opposition
I met her
and I'm speaking to her local party and Ruth she had to cancel at the last minute, but I said, no problem. I'll do it whenever it suits you. So I speak to all sides because girls sonni chahidi. You can't just say, nah, right, everything I've got right, and ਤੁਸੀਂ wrong here. I don't believe in that. I believe ਜਿਹੜੀ final deal ਹੋਣੀ ਆ agreement ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ because you can't say I'm right all of the time. There is a lot of work to be done to make sure that people are protected, people get good compensation. And I want to see that. I'll be pushing Heathrow on that as well. We want good quality jobs with good pay. We want target likhya in law the bitch. Jedi Paris Agreement saying net zero by 2050. All we karna pana with these new cleaner, better aircraft fuel. ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਨੋਰਵੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੋਰਵੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡੀ 에ਅਰਕ੍ਰਾਫਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ 에ਅਰਕ੍ਰਾਫਟ ਆ ਪੂਰੀ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰਿਕ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ ਬਾਈ 2040 ਪੂਰੀ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰਿਕ ਸੋ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਗੱਲ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ runway ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ but we can also do it and improve the air quality and reduce the noise and do something about the carbon as well ਪੂਰਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕੰਪਲੈਕਸ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਪਲਾਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਪਲਾਨ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਗਰੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ in 2018 ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਬਲੌਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ
ਪਰਮਜੀਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ BA ਹੈਗਾ obviously they are the key stakeholder
ਹਾਂਜੀ
yeah ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦੋ ਦੇ ਸਟੇਕ ਹੋਲਡਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾਟਰ ਸਾਈਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਮੈਸਿਵ ਪਲੇਸ ਦੈਟ ਬੀ ਡਿਮੋਲਿਸ਼ਡ ਐਂਡ ਅਲੋਂਗ ਦੇਅਰ ਵੱਡੇ 2-3 ਸੈਂਟਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਗੋ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਪੀਪਲ ਮਸਟ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ BA ਸਟੇਕ ਹੋਲਡਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਸਟੇਕ ਹੋਲਡਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਦੇ ਮਸਟ ਸੀ ਦ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਆਫਟਰ ਹੈਵਿੰਗ ਡਨ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਪੇਅਰ ਟੂ ਮੇਕ ਲਾਸਿਸ ਔਨ ਦੇਅਰ ਸਾਈਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ
Yeah, na ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਆ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ hotels as well ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਥ ਰੋਡ ਵਾਲੇ hotels
we
use them a lot ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ I feel a bit sorry I keep saying you know ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ runway ਆ you'll be standing in it but ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ they say to me yes please we know that we won't be here anymore ਪਰ ਜੇ runway ਬੰਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੋਰ opportunity ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ for more hotels for more offices for more buildings and you look at ਜਿਹੜੀ place you go to Slough is like a gateway to Heathrow. Heathrow to Bagair, there wouldn't be a Slough. There'd be no jobs. There'd be no businesses. But what I know is this is an opportunity to build more. They want to do more around education and colleges and training jobs for people at the airport in the future. Thames Valley College, we're dealing the batch. Again, this is an opportunity to do more, create more, to do more things. And idan the ambition honi chahidi hai it's not a case of just oh no more aeroplanes de naal opportunity banni chahidi hai and that's what we have to do for our community
you know you started this about 8-10 years ago and you day in day out to see workout kar rahe upar and it's going to take other number of years before actually it starts shaping it out do you see this happening in your lifetime? I'm not being horrible, but you know.
Very mad. This time it should happen. Summer बहुत important होनी है जो detailed plan जानी है government ਨੂੰ Heathrow ਤੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਛੇਤੀ ਗੱਲ ਬਣਨੀ ਹੈ planning process consultation ministerial decision to do that within 3-4 years that is quick for a Dundee project. We've been waiting since 1945 with no runways. To do it in 4 years, changi gal hai. Fir us to bath, fair you start the building, the construction. And government's being ambitious. It's saying second term, or the batch by 2034, let's have the runway up and running. But jeta vi hona chahiye in the run up to that, as soon as you've done the planning application, the jobs are being built straight away. Construction honia, the steel's being built, the planners are in place, all of the work is beginning. So the jobs are already being created for the future.
You know, I want to know, to see, this is one of the biggest ever you can think about the expansion Jadi Hegi. You know, this is why I say you made a history. Whether hoy or not hoy, at least you made a move. How did you make up your mind to see? How did you get your teeth into that? I would like to do that.
Well, it was approached Siga. They approached me in 2017 because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੇਰੀ parliamentary background ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ local ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਹੇਜ਼ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ that ਮੈਂ parliament ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ support ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਆ program ਲਈ ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ I suppose ਜਿਹੜੇ program ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਿਆ you know who's talking to Akaal TV who's talking to Desi Radio who is the ones in the community in the mosques and the gurdwaras these are the people that count you have to reach out and connect to these people if you're going to make projects like this happen so I got involved and I was happy to do it now the Honsari network has 100,000 strong 100,000 members 50,000 of them live within just 5 miles of the airport. You know, in the communities near this building here, very many of them were recruited and joined on visits that we made to the Gurdwara, for example, to the local mosques. So that community feel, having the connection with the politics nationally and being able to make them listen to us nationally was important for this project. But to be apna banda as well, I suppose, here in the local community, being able to talk to people like you and be able to talk to Sadi Apne Dunya in a program like this, watching and hopefully
I'm coming
bringing
to,
up.
I'm coming to this. You know, there are sort of process hai sport da public to sare paase. Have you finished with that or are you still hoping?
No. We're doing lots of public meetings there. We had one just a few months ago, 400 people at Gymkhana Club, actually. We'll be doing another one of those. We've got a meeting in the local villages around Heathrow later on in March. We're doing our own Facebook Live meetings and videos with people creating the jobs at the Heathrow, at the Academy. Chief Executive ਦਾ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ interview ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, all the big players. We have had the serious politicians coming to see us, and we have meetings with them on the ground with local people in the communities. So yeah, the work is ongoing.
So
The engagement will continue.
I'll give you a biggest opportunity as well. Sitting here in the studio, I don't know if you know, we broadcast to 157 countries worldwide. Okay, there might be much help to you people, somebody listening in Australia, America, or Canada. At least your voice will go around UK, everywhere. I want to...
And they can,
before we run out of the time,
sign up and join the campaign wherever they are, whether they're in Delhi or New Zealand or anywhere else, if they go to the website. So shall I give the details
what
now?
I want you to do it, before we run out of the time, and to look at the camera, please talk to people what you expect them to do for you.
Well, look at the website, www.backheathrow.org.uk. Ote pura program hai sada events. Sign up. You get a regular message, a regular email from me. There is people go out, they go putting leaflets through doors. They do video recordings. These days, so much is on social media, on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook. We go out, people film, make recordings. We share them with other people. We get the message out about the benefits that this could have, the opportunities it could create, the money and jobs it could create for our local people in the communities around the airport.
Good one. The Akaal Channel, especially jab main show karda hai, there's a guy here who's all out for the expansion, back Heathrow. ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਂਸ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਵਾਂਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ I would like them to come forward as well and they give their side of the story so that people can balance out you know what's right and what's wrong because jo internal choti job points ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ people don't understand that they hear from the horse's mouth like yourself or from the opposition so that's why we're saying it's no good just bringing one side who is very much into the favor. We're going to get the other party as well and talk to them, do's and don'ts, ki acha ki kharab hai. I can see the negative points, but I see the good points as well.
And they say galia, and I've done lots of chats like this on the media with people who are against the project. But jeri environmental strategy baniya Heathrow the one of the leading environmentalists, Tony Juniper, he was executive director of Friends of the Earth, Greenpeace, all of these groups. Many of them have opposed Heathrow expansion, but Tony Juniper said, "Our program then I'll engage on it. I will change it. I will shape it," and he's been the advisor who has shaped the environmental strategy for the airport. And I think that has made it better. So I would say if you are against it, you are worried about it, you are concerned about it, get involved. Consultation bhi honi hai, government de naal consultation honi hai before they make a final decision. But you can make it better because we want this to work well for our communities. There's no benefit from us poisoning people with bad air or heating up the planet or deafening people with noise. We have to make this work, not just talk about making it work, but get those cleaner and quieter and better airplanes and create those jobs, make sure they're good jobs well-paid jobs and work with the trade unions to make that happen, to make this the best project it can be for local people.
ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਦਿੰਦਾ, it's no good having a fresh air if you don't have a job. ਸਮਝ ਗਏ ਨਾ?
Fresh air and a job would be the best.
ਸਮਝ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ point? So there's a plus point. You're trying to give both. Yeah? But to achieve these two things, you have to destroy some places on other livelihood, jo na de tradition on that from birth till now, they've been living there. It's very difficult for an older age to readjust their life.
Yeah, you can't have an airport without having some noise. You're right.
Sure.
Life is about compromises. Sometimes we have to do things like work for a living, but not everybody wants to work for a living. But if you want to work, you get paid. These are the lives. This is the compromises in life, aren't they? So there are some compromises. But if we can create more trade and create more opportunities, there's more money for the economy, and we can create a better country from that as well. The big projects do deliver that. But as well, England the which ਅਸੀਂ struggle ਕਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ with the big infrastructure projects ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ. We've been slowed down, we've been stuck in the past. We need to speed it up.
Tell me in your mind, be honest to me, how much there's likelihood that ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ drop ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ? Or you think you passed that stage?
No, ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ last time? ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਈ ਕੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਸੁਪਰੀਮ ਕੋਰਟ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਸੀ, ਫਿਰ COVID ਹੋਇਆ. Nobody would have predicted COVID. So that was one of those things, it was a 1 in a million thing, it can happen. So things can happen in life. But fairly, it's still back on track now because people know it's needed. So I think it's one of those resilient and strong and really important projects that has to happen. But things can happen. But these are the challenges in life. Things go wrong sometimes. Sometimes you can predict nahi kar sakte. But that's life, and it stops it from being boring.
Is there anybody you'd like to mention the names who's been really like shoulder to shoulder? You think, you need to mention their names?
Yeah, I think the Unite and GMB trade union in particular, and other trade unions as well. But they've been very, very supportive. The Chambers of Commerce, the CBI, they've been very, very helpful. Local businesses, but most important, Sade Apne Dunia, of all backgrounds, all races, all religions, over 100,000 people who joined back Heathrow, some of them a decade ago. And more people are joining all of the time. But those people, we go out, we campaign with them, we meet with them, we talk to them, they write to their MPs, they persuade people on our behalf. Because they're the ones that matter, because they are the ones that live here. So if you are one of those people and you think, a changa idea, मैं help करना, पर मैं की कर सकता, फिर तुसी साडी organisation ਨੂੰ join ਕਰ ਲਓ. Back Heathrow, you can find it easily on Google.
They get all the messages.
You get all the messages, you get regular messages, you get videos, you get text, whatever you want, you get emails from us, and you can come and meet us and ask us all your questions, and we have regular events all around West London and the Thames Valley.
Since I can remember, since I've been in this country, Heathrow has always been under construction one way or the other. Kuch na kuch banda rehta hai every time. We see a lot of traffic, we see a lot of construction work, but nothing has been demolished or anything else, but they're doing within the perimeter.
That will happen, and you will see in the detailed plans in the summer. There will be some changes around the terminals. Some will get knocked down or changed, and other new ones will get built as part of the big program. They have a different style of arranging terminals in Europe. They call it the toaster rack, but it makes the airport more efficient of getting aircraft in and out quicker. And suddenly we changa because journey time quicker ho janda, passing through the airport and onto the aircraft. So it's good all round.
Surprisingly, because I've not been to these places, like the busiest airport in the world is Atlanta. Yeah, that's the busiest. Then obviously the French, we busy again, coffee. And Dubai again is one of the biggest. I don't think we're very far out from these airports, like
It's very close. Heathrow is always hovering around the top spot. Yeah. It changes every year slightly, but at the minute, it's over 80 million passengers. It's busier than it's ever been.
I could see Dubai being the world hub. I can see Heathrow being the world hub, but not Atlanta or another place in USA.
Well, the thing is with the hubs, they have to be airports with long distance transatlantic connections. So our hubs here, it's really a competition between us and the other European ones, but also to some extent Dubai as well, because I remember flying to India on holiday, and in the old days you would stop off at Dubai and change and go to India. Now with the different aircraft, people want to fly direct much, much more. So the hubs are more important than ever to have those single journeys without having to stop at smaller or other airports, because that's part of the problem with carbon. If you're going stopping and starting, no, not English. In fact, in the Italian language, there's a word for that. They call it staccato. The staccato journey around the world is not a good one. You need your hub airports to make those long distance journeys, and we're lucky. We have a very, very strong hub airport, one of the busiest in the world, but with only 2 runways, and you don't get that very often. So the 3rd runway can make a big difference to the British economy.
You know, sir, look, both interested, and I'm sorry because we probably money-minded people. I'd rather be at work earning money or running a business. To see the bath route, you see a lot of community, local community, they watch the planes landing and take off, study karde ne uda. Agar tusi bath route drive karde ho, dekhde ho na, you see one plane after the other one. How sophisticated, look at the system way it's working at the moment. You know, kidney technology, kidney manpower, kidna ode chna effort hai without anybody knowing. Every minute a flight lands and take off. Do we ever think about these things? Planning
it's so technical, isn't it? So technical and so complicated.
Exactly.
And air traffic control has changed so much.
I can imagine.
And that's part of the benefits of modernization and decarbonization, because the air traffic control now is more like sat-nav in your car. It takes you the direct route. If you go the direct route, you're not creating as much bad emissions. And if you, as you said at the beginning, if you're not stacking, you're reducing the problems that we have with air quality as well. So the technology makes a huge difference. And the technology going into fuel now as well to decarbonize it is amazing. To have recycled products. And part of the plan for Heathrow is to have an entire new industry around greener new fuels that emit less carbon, being again built, made in industrial sites around England, places like Grangemouth in Scotland, but the northeast, Aberavon in Wales. All of these places were strong industrial jobs in the past. We can actually use those to create this cleaner, greener energy for our airplanes. So it's a great opportunity, but you're right. Technology, bringing it all together is complicated.
You know, that's another thing I like to bring somebody from, maybe you know some people from the control tower, navigation, how this is all done. Because, in my days, I don't know if you know, I had a PPL, pilot's license when I was younger. Shauq li kita si thoda bahut. So very much into aviation, manu bada interesting with the planes and all that. Purane zamane de vich, my time, control tower was actually I could see the plane landing and take off. Hunte sade control tower Southampton and Northolt kitte again. You know, they're not at the airport actually.
No, you can almost do it from home these days. I
think,
isn't
you don't have to be at the airport to see the runway.
I will know much more at the end of March, because for the first time ever, I'm going to be going up the control tower with the trade union leaders who are coming to the airport in a few weeks to talk about expansion and the jobs. And I was delighted to hear that I'll be going up the control tower. I hadn't expected to. I knew I was meeting the trade union leaders, but they said, no, we want you to go up the control tower and see it. And I said, well, and I asked the same question. Do they still use the control tower in the same way, or are people doing it from home? But things are changing a lot. But the control tower is still in use. But I can tell you more in detail when I come down at the end of the month.
I would
what
like
it's
to.
like.
I would like to, honestly, because this is amazing. Somebody controlling the plane to land, sitting at home. It doesn't sound right good to me, you know.
It's all changing. You don't- I suppose in the old days, going back to especially then during the war and all the rest of it, you would almost be manual, wouldn't you? You'd be there. You'd be watching the planes. You'd be looking out the tower to see when one is landing and one is taking off. But on airports, so inne busy, it's all digital. It's all technology to avoid crashes, and that's really important.
मैं दो मिनट 1.5 मिनट मैं थोड़ा क्लोज अप करदा ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ ਪਰਮਜੀਤ ਡਾਂਡਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ who is the executive director of the back Heathrow. Good points, bad points, you can balance them out ਕੀ ਅੱਛਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ how far they've gone into expansion ਦਾ so it's I would say it's nowhere at the moment ਹਾਲੇ opposition party ਵੀ ਬੜੀ strong ਬਣ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਫੇਵਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ there is lot of time for you to get involved ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ Heathrow ਨੂੰ to the website, you give them the website again. So that
www.backheathrow.org.uk.
Get involved. And then I my time pass karda, मैं कुछ करदा. Get involved. Something very constructive, something to enjoy करोगे कि मैं भी this contribution की थी. तो which your children can remember कि मेरा dad was there as well, helping the expansion वगैरह. So you've seen the good, you've seen the bad. There's some villages will be kind of totally destroyed. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਰਨਵੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਆਣਗੇ ਸੋ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੋ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇ ਚਾਂਸਲਰ ਨੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਐਨੀਵੇ ਅਮੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਗਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵੀਕ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗਾ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਫॉर कमिंग my honor my pleasure to have you in my show and I think you've cleared a lot of air for the people to know where you stand.
Thank you. Happy to come back as things progress over.
Thank you, sir.
the coming
Chalo,
months.
bada mushkil hai that banda nu leke aana. They're so busy. He's wanted everywhere, and I'm glad apne Akaal channel, Punjabi channel, ne support kita and gave you all the information. अगले वीक फिर तो ना मुलाकात करेंगे तब तक रब रखा सच कहिए वाहिगुरू का खालसा वाहिगुरू की फतेह.